www.whatsnewintodaysvid.com. Well, what'll we learn today? Some real nice stuff. It's HTML. What HTML is exactly and what we can do with it, well, we'll get to that in a sec. Many of you have probably already wondered how websites are developed. You see, it's impossible for us to simply rent out our SIMPLECLUB website developers and make them work their magic elsewhere. This is why we have a markup language that is specialized in web development. And that language is HTML. HTML is an abbreviation for Hypertext Markup Language. Each website contains a certain HTML code. If you don't believe what I'm babbling about, just try it out for yourselves. Simply open your browser, click the right mouse button and select View Page Source. Now you get to see the HTML code that describes why the website looks the way it does. So, what are the properties of HTML and what does this language look like exactly? Well, that's what we are going to show you in our next videos. For starters, it's important to know that HTML only describes the website's structure. The presentation and the layout, in other words, the appearance, color scheme, yada yada yada. Well, that's described in different formats. For example, the cascading style sheets, which we'll discuss in some more detail later on. It is possible to program visualizations using HTML. However, it is much more complicated and complex than if we use other formats. The HT in HTML, hypertext, refers to a text that contains references to different texts of documents. With a website, this could be links to different pages. Markup means as much as definition. With these markups, HTML structures the text, making it readable for your computer. This is done through closed tags. This means that we need a start tag and an end tag for each element in the text. This tag explains to the computer how the element should be structured. On top of this, there are attributes. These contain a more detailed description of a tag, always included inside a tag. Here, each attribute has a name and a value. The value is always defined in quotation marks, followed by an equal sign. It does not matter how you use indentations in HTML code. You can decide to write everything in one line. However, that would be super chaotic. For clarity, we add more sublines. It just makes Jay happy. The HTML code for the SIMPLECLUB homepage would look like this. If you're like me, you really don't understand any of this. We will gradually bring you up to speed on HTML over the next videos. With this, you can do more than just read HTML code, you can actually start developing simple websites. Now, let's have a quick look at how you can write HTML code. For starters, you only need a text editor and a browser. There are many to choose from, just Google around a bit. You can use several browsers such as Chrome, Safari, Firefox and the like. Now simply start writing your HTML code in the editor and save it as a file with the extension .html. And now you just open the file with your browser. Open it with a text editor again to edit the file like you did before. Of course, you can also just use an HTML editor. There are loads of free programs to choose from. Try this out, just type the following code. And if this is now displayed on your browser, you did everything perfectly. Now, what should you remember about HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and it forms the basis for the current World Wide Web. HTML only defines the structure. This is done through markup in the form of tags and attributes. This allows computers to process the HTML code and represent it visually in a browser. To work with HTML code, you only need a text editor and a browser. For now, just prepare yourself for HTML mentally. And if you're ready, click on the next video. See you in a bit and take care. Ciao!